Alright, so our next lesson here in rational expressions, we're going to deal with a big one called complex rational expressions. So hold on to your seats. I'm going to show you how to do one problem two different ways. That's what the video is on, and then we will be doing a lot more in class. Alright, the first way to deal with this one here is obviously we got four levels. I got one level on top, a second level, third, and then fourth. The whole numbers are really on top anyways, okay? But obviously we've got things with subtraction here on both of them, so we need to get the common denominator we just learned. We could not have handled this the way we did before. So if we take a look at this here, bottom line is there is no GCF on this. So the GCF is the 2b minus 1. So that's what I would do, 2b minus 1. And so I've got a b squared plus b that I'm not touching, minus 1. And then I'm going to subtract 1 times a 2b minus 1. This way they're all over. Same thing on the bottom. Then that whole thing is over this one, which there is only one common denominator, b plus 1, so the 8 already has it. So we get 4 times that common denominator. It does not have the b plus 1, minus an 8, and that whole thing is over b plus 1. So as you can still see, I've got a 4-level fraction going on here. Now we need to distribute a few things. So a negative 1 up here has got to get distributed, and we got to do the 4 distribute right here. So we've got a b squared plus a b minus 1, which I haven't touched yet. Now a minus 1 times 2b is a minus 2b, and a minus 1 times a minus 1 is a plus 1. And of course that whole thing is over this 2b minus 1. Then that fraction is all over the fraction we're going to distribute. 4b plus 4 times 1 is 4 minus 8, which is over b plus 1. Now we got to clean a few things up here. On the top, we got a b squared. It's the only one. A b and a minus 2b is a minus b. And a minus 1 and a plus 1 cancel. So I'm going to leave that way, over 2b minus 1. Okay, and then that whole thing is over. Clean the other one up, 4b minus 4 over b plus 1. Well, of course, we can now multiply by the reciprocal, the b plus 1 over the 4b minus 4. I'll show you it this way. So a b plus 1 over a 4b minus 4. So down here everything cancels, and now we're back to a 2-level fraction, and we change it to multiplication instead of division. I cannot factor anything out down below here. This one I can factor out a b, okay? So if I do that, let's do that in red here. So that's a b times a b minus 1. And then this one down here, I can take a 4 out times a b minus 1. So we're actually able to get rid of b minus 1 to cross reducing. But that looks like that's it. So we put the whole thing back together, and it gets messy. Okay. In the top here, I have a b. That's from over here. That's the b. Only thing left there. Times a b plus 1. And in the bottom, we got a 2b minus 1, which cannot be factored, so if you want to put it in parentheses, fine, times just a 4. Or even better, put the 4 out in front right here. These two right here have nothing in common whatsoever. I can't get a b out again. The 4 doesn't cancel with anything. So there you go. There's your answer right there. And yes, you could multiply them back if the answer doesn't look quite right. Complicated, complicated, complicated. So now let's go look at it a different way. In this way, I basically got the common denominator first and then flip it. There's nothing wrong with doing the division part first and then get the common denominator. So we'll take a look at it in another way. All right, I was going to do another way for you, but the kit's still complicated. You really have to get these two terms combined together, these two combined together before you deal with the division piece. Otherwise, you'll end up with a little bit of a mess and you'll lose things just because of some of the properties. So, I am not going to show you this another way. We're going to stick with the other one. If you want to write it next to it and stuff like that, division and flip, you can, but get the common denominator first. You're better off getting both terms, get the bottom one combined, get the top one combined, and then do your division by multiplying by your reciprocal. So I'm going to hold at that. We're going to show you a bunch more. It's about as hard as they're going to get, although it could get even more complicated, trust me. But I'll see you in class. We'll show you then.